y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Exploring Thought, where every week we take a new thought provoking topic and explore it. We're your hosts, Melly.
And Susie. And today's episode is all about nostalgia.
Oh,
So, of course, before we begin, we got to take out our handy dandy Google definition.
indeed.
Nostalgia, a sentimental longing for wistful affection for the past, typically for a period or place with happy personal associations.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, pretty
I like
much.
it.
I like it. Before anything else, though, because you did the definition, I wanted to touch on the origin because I felt like that had more of like an emotional kind of
Hmm.
thing. Uh, the origins of the word nostalgia, which come from two Greek words, nostros, meaning return home, and algos, meaning pain or ache.
Yeah.
That felt very deep or profound, I guess, to me. In the 17th and 18th centuries, nostalgia was actually considered a condition by
Yeah.
a Swiss physician, Johannes Hofer. I hope I'm not butchering that. He noticed it among Swiss soldiers far from home, experiencing symptoms like sadness, longing, and homesickness. People saw this as a mental disorder with soldiers and labeled them weak and unfit for duty. So they actually faced punishments and treatments aimed at curing their homesickness.
That's crazy. I also found that. I thought that was very
Crazy.
crazy,
Yeah.
especially in the concept of these people went to war.
Mhm.
I mean, of course they're gonna
Miss
fucking
home,
miss
dude. What do you
home,
mean?
and they're gonna be depressed, and they're gonna I don't think
Lonely
yeah, like,
and
that's especially
aching for something to make them feel
feel whole
good and
again.
home again. Yeah,
Yeah,
like, that's
it's
crazy.
really fucked up, especially I saw the same thing. I saw that it was a mental health issue
Mhm.
back in the 17th
Yeah.
century, and I think that's fucked up, like, poor
Can
these
you imagine sitting at home watching your favorite fucking cartoon from when you were, like, little kid and being somewhere far from your actual place, like let's say you in Chile, right?
Mhm.
And you missed that, and then having being punished for that
Yeah,
feeling, like
that's crazy.
home, you're being punished.
You're losing your mind. That's a
Yeah,
mental health
mental ill,
issue.
mental illness.
Bruh,
Fuck,
that's wild.
right?
So, like always, I like to always ask what it means to you, what it means to us, especially
Hmm.
on these type of like episodes. So, what does nostalgia do to you when you feel like you are going through that like nostalgic moment?
Hmm.
What does it do to you as a person? Do you enjoy it? Do you lack of it? Do
Oh,
you do it all the time?
it
What is it to you?
it's bittersweet to me because I love it when it happens and I'm, on memory lane and
Mhm.
my brain pleasure firing sensors, all that shit. And then it's over because it's in the past, so
Yep.
it's kind of it ends for me. Nostalgia is like this huge wave of happiness ended with like a small sense of like, bullshit. That's
That's
not
not here
here
now.
anymore. That's
Yeah.
not, especially if it's about a person that's no longer around,
Yeah.
that person you can't share that bit of nostalgia with them. Anyways, it's good and then not so good for me.
Yeah.
How about you?
I feel like I completely and utterly resonate with that.
Mhm.
Also, I feel like it happens to me a lot. And especially like when you even said Chile, like I feel like there's a lot of moments that happen here, like specifically with scents and stuff, which I actually
Mhm.
have something about. It makes me feel sad, but really happy at the same time
Yeah.
because I want to constantly say, at least I got to experience it.
Yeah.
Like if we're really
Mhm.
going to be in the positive note of it, I want to think to myself,
That's my
I'm
life.
remembering it
I
because I
did
was
that.
so happy then.
Yeah.
Yeah. But of course, there's moments and there's times that this nostalgic feeling comes and it's actually not a happy moment
Mhm. Being
where
triggered by like
a
you said, a smell
song
or
or a
something.
smell or a place
Yeah.
or a certain food,
Oh my god.
whatever the
Is there a
situation,
name for that?
is
Like,
there a
is
name?
it not? Is that still nostalgia being triggered by like a scent or
Oh,
something?
yes. Um, So, first off, let's talk about what is having nostalgia. Like, what is
Mhm.
it? Obviously, we kind of touch base on it. Nostalgia is triggered by something reminding an individual of an event or an item from their past.
Mhm.
The result emotion can vary from happiness to sorrow. The term feeling nostalgic is more commonly used to describe pleasurable emotions
Mhm.
associated with or a longing to return to a particular period of time.
Yeah.
So, obviously, when we think of things from the past, we don't automatically feel nostalgic. At least I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like nostalgia comes from a scent, a certain memory. Like I feel like I can't just sit down and just start thinking about my past and just automatically
Yeah.
start feeling that
Okay.
nostalgic feeling, you know?
I get that.
So when I looked up like what happens, like actually in our brain,
Mhm.
like when it happens, apparently we do get some dopamine.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So it says like the translators between our emotional mind and our rational mind, it's like a concept.
Mhm.
There's also evidence that dopamine, that feel good chemical in the brain, is released exactly when we're feeling nostalgic.
It's like pressing a joy button and the brain's pleasure centers just light up.
The
Like
brain's like, please.
that's actually a thing. Like on top of this, just to expand on what you were saying, I did a little research also, and neuroimaging studies have shown that recalling nostalgic memories activates specific regions of the brain associated with emotion, memory, and reward
Yeah,
processing.
yeah,
And that these include, the amygdala, the hippocampus,
yeah,
etc. But that's crazy that our brain's actually doing something that when we're feeling that, so that I used to think when I was younger, and I'll remain ignorant. I'm not remaining ignorant, but I used to think the nostalgic was just something you made up because you were feeling happy about
yeah.
something
No,
versus an actual feeling that's
that's
doing
happening in
something
the
in your
brain.
brain.
Yeah,
And when I found that out, I was like, wow, the human mind is just that's
it's wild.
awesome. That's
Yeah,
to produce something like that. And it's true. And I wonder if because of the dopamine release or the small dopamine releases was it is why there's that bittersweet feeling after because
yeah.
your brain is literally having a party right now and then it's just
And then
gone.
it just stops. Yeah, it's just like having an adrenaline rush, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden now you're fucking exhausted. Dopamine does the same thing.
Yeah.
So I looked up like the biggest triggers, and let me
Mhm.
just ask you what you think the biggest triggers like to cause that nostalgic feeling are.
I know for me it's smell, so I
Yeah,
would
me
say
too.
smell.
Yeah. So one of the biggest triggers, it says the emotion is often triggered by encountering a familiar smell, sound, or keepsake, by engaging in conversations, or by feeling lonely.
Wow. So it's saying two of those things have to happen. You have to be encountering one of those familiarities or you have to feel lonely.
Or you have to feel sad because then you start missing home.
Home. Oh my
Just
god,
like
so it's
these
like a
four.
brain's defense mechanism or a coping
It is, yes.
mechanism.
That there's another thing that I searched up that it literally shows that there's a lot of people that have a lot of this nostalgia because they are going through a
Sad
coping
time.
mechanism, and they're going, yeah, they're trying
Yeah.
to
Oh my god.
they're trying to push through.
So you just try and, think of something in those moments that kind of bring you back, and then you go through this whole nostalgic memory lane, and then you feel better
Yeah.
for a little bit.
Well, for a little
That's
bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
so for a little bit, but then you're
Yeah.
cool, like for those little moments. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I like feeling nostalgia. Sometimes I'll force it. I will. I will call Cachet and start talking to her about shit we used to do in middle school, and just to be like for her to be like, "Oh my god." So I like kickstart her dopamine. And then in turn she gives me back some because then we're on the phone for 2 fucking hours talking about what little shits we were in
Yeah.
middle school.
Like once you actually get into it and you start remembering and you start
Yeah.
feeling how you used to feel.
Kickstart your dopamine, people. Call your friends. Be like, "Hey, remember that time?"
Hey, you remember when we used to fuck?
Don't do that. You're gonna have people calling us being like, "Why you telling me to call my ex for?" That wasn't nostalgic. That was
Honestly,
trauma.
I think I like stopped. I was gonna say when we fucking did something crazy,
Oh,
but then I kind of just ended at fuck, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of funny. So you know what? Let's just leave it at that. But all right, it's fine. Let's move on.
crazy. Okay, well, since we're laughing, I got a joke.
This bitch says, since you're laughing, I got a joke. You see, I had said that. If I hadn't said that, she's lying in.
Would have done it. I would have found a way because I thought it's funny. I like dad jokes. Why did the '90s computer go to therapy?
Why did the 90s computer go to therapy?
Yeah,
'Cause it needed a reboot. I have no idea.
because it had too many windows open from its past.
Bruh.
That was like 3 levels of nostalgic for you there
I
in a
saw
dad
it.
joke.
I saw my fat ass screen with like 20 fucking duplicates of the same window because I pressed the button and it wouldn't turn on. So I pressed it again and it wouldn't turn on. So I pressed it again and it wouldn't turn on. And all of a sudden, all of them open.
Mhm. Do you remember when you had to literally when you dragged it and it left pattern?
Yes, or you couldn't even move it because it fucking froze. So you had to wait for like 15 minutes just to get that button to fucking start closing
Yep,
the
because
windows.
command Control Alt Delete didn't work
No, it
because
did
your
not.
computer was frozen.
And you couldn't do shit unless you wanted to turn it off and lose all your work, which
Mhm.
I usually never did. So I
Yeah.
was like, "Fuck this, I'm gonna
Wait, just walk away, watch an episode of something on Cartoon Network and come back. Oh,
Oh God. So since we are back talking about
mhm,
nostalgia, or talking about our past, you say Cartoon Network.
mhm.
I say Nickelodeon.
Cartoon.
Have you guys seen
Oh god,
Quiet on Set?
I haven't watched it yet. I
It's
can't.
fucked up.
I feel like I can't. I feel like I'd be too triggered
It's
by it.
fucked up. Drake is there and he's like telling his story and shit.
Mm-mm.
Like, it's sad to think that some of our nostalgic moments have been brought on by
Yep.
other people's fucking miseries.
Yeah, at
Not
their
to get too dark and
expense.
shit, but
But it's true. I mean, thinking about that, they gave us so much joy and laughter and helped us cope and get through what we were going through their entertainment.
yeah,
Meanwhile, they were suffering.
yeah,
So I personally have an enormous like debt of gratitude towards
yeah.
them for that because I mean that was they cartoons are different from having to act in person,
Mhm.
you know, and I'm not saying that that can't happen with people from
Oh, yes, of
but
course, but
you've got a bunch of children actors, you've got a bunch of variables that you can't control, and there's risk in that, and we think, it's all easy, "Oh, they just, do their thing and go
yeah,
home and they make money from this," when they're people too, and
and they're going
they're
through shit.
going through shit regardless if it's this or another. They have an enormous amount of pressure on them every day to perform on and off screen.
Yeah.
So, that's
Wow.
it. Yeah.
So that's a hard one.
Mhm. But, moving on to some lighter stuff.
Let's go.
Speaking of cartoons and stuff, I mean, nostalgia right now is very high for the '90s babies
Yeah.
because the stuff that we grew up on now is becoming classic.
Isn't that fucking weird?
I
Bruh.
fucking Courage the Cowardly Dog is on Boomerang, bruh. Boomerang.
That's your free.
No, Boomerang is where all the old cartoons come
It's
from.
not free?
Yeah. I don't know, I don't think so.
Oh,
But now that when we were younger, stuff like Rocky and Bullwinkle and all those
yeah.
cartoons were on there, and
Now it's
now it's our
isn't that
cartoons.
fucking weird?
Some kid on TikTok was talking about an old classic called Ah Real Monsters, and they were like, "This is low key lit." I was like, "Fuck yeah."
No cap, bro. No cap.
It's like, I don't know what you're saying, but I agree with that. So fucking old.
Oh my God. Talk about feeling old. I went to the fucking gas station the other day to go get papers.
Mhm.
And I look at the little sign and it says to buy alcohol, you need to be born something, something, 2003.
Just a moment of silence for our knees right now.
2003
They can literally just look at the 19 in your birth year
and
and
be
be like, "You're
like,
good."
"Don't even worry about it."
Bruh. Heard your knees cracking on the way in. We know you good, grandma.
That's wild.
But all right, so one of my closer friends has a younger girlfriend, and we hang out. She's cool as fuck, okay?
Yeah.
But she's still young. She's just turned 21.
Okay.
So there's a 10-year age difference
Mhm.
for me,
Yeah, I know who you're
okay?
talking about.
And she comes over, and when she comes over, we kiki, we laugh it up, we chop it up. That shit's great. We cool, we chill, we watch TV, we play.
Mhm.
But every now and then,
Love how she's so distraught.
I'll say something, or you guys know I talk in like TV, I talk in movie
Yes.
quotes and shit
Yes.
like that. And I guess, now my age is starting to show in those movies because she don't be getting nothing the damn thing. And then and that's okay, because some people just don't know and you just have to, but then she be saying things. She be saying things and
What she be
y-
saying?
y-
What you be saying?
the other day she was here and I told her I have never felt more aware of my age than when she's in my house. Because I'll be wanting to talk to her about things, and we'll be getting into like a nostalgic kind of conversation about our past and
Mhm.
stuff like that, good things. And I'll say something and she has no idea what I'm talking about. I'm like,
She was like, "Yeah."
exactly. Because she was like still on her mom's tit when I was fucking,
We were like high school.
I love her to death. But oh my
Yeah,
God,
your
I be
fault.
feeling old. And I find that that's happening more and more as I get older. And that makes me feel weird.
Yeah.
Feels like a weird conversation to be having right
Yeah.
now.
Well, I'm sorry. We're
Nostalgia
old.
be hitting me more now because I'm old.
Yeah. I feel like honestly, nostalgia is such a weird thing. The thought of a smell bringing you back. Like, I don't know how strong it is for you, but
Definitely puts me in the moment.
I'm there. Like, especially okay, so like let's just say this
Mhm,
your soap, I've told you this before. The
mhm.
soap that she has in her bathroom takes me back to a not so pleasant time,
I'm sorry
but it,
about it.
it every time I pump that shit and I wash my hand, like as I'm washing my hands, I'm no longer in your house.
Yeah.
I am in the moment. I am there. And this was like from 14, like fucking years ago,
Yeah.
16 years ago. That's how strong the nostalgic feeling is. And sometimes that even happens to me where I'm like in Chile, I'm like 6 years old, like
Yeah, dude, I've
looking
had
at a
that happen to
cat and
me
shit.
before.
Yeah.
There
It's weird, dude.
they have farms out by Flamingo Road in that area,
Hmm.
so you can literally go and pick your own produce and pay the farmers there straight so you don't have to go to the store. And I used to do that a lot. And there was this one particular patch of green banana that smelled like Jamaica. Like every time I went, I was back at my aunt's
Yeah.
house in Jamaica and just I'd close my eyes and just sit in that moment for a little bit because it made me feel good.
Yeah.
It brought me back to a time when life was simple. I was young. I didn't have any responsibilities, and all I had to do was enjoy the life I was living at that moment.
Yeah.
And I miss that.
Then you wake up.
Yeah, and then you're like, "Shit, huh, off back to the city now," and it's gone.
Yeah, because now when I smell it, doesn't really happen. It's that first, it's that
Initial
hit.
transport, and I think sometimes maybe because it happens to me more than once,
Hmm.
sometimes with a
Oh
scent.
yeah.
If it's that specific, because it has to be the perfect amalgamation of everything,
Yeah, yeah, no, I
okay?
understand.
But if I because I've this has happened to me out in public before where I'll pass by a bodega or something that smells like my grandmother's neighborhood,
Hmm.
and I'll be back there again, but it's gotta be perfect because
Yeah, yeah.
I've passed by other little stores like that that don't
That
make me
don't bring
exactly.
you back.
But if I catch it and it's right,
It takes you back.
right back again, just as if it happened the first time.
Okay, so if we're gonna be weird about it, are we time traveling? Are we still there in a different dimension? there are some times that I wonder, maybe it's not us remembering. Maybe it's us, like,
Going
opening
back,
that portal where we're there and we're always there. You know? Like, who knows?
bro, that's
Like, if
crazy.
we're really
That's
gonna
a
get
crazy
real
thing.
weird
But
about
yeah,
it,
that's real weird.
you know, smoke and then listen to this, we'll rewind, smoke one, rewind, and then tell me what you're feeling about it.
Can you
Because
imagine if in that moment your mind is literally opening to a place in time where you were and
and you're still there, maybe there's different altered dimensions that we're always living the same shit.
or or what if it's not that we're always in that moment, but what if anytime our past self came into contact with that smell, like let's say little Millie walked into her grandmother's kitchen and I've just passed by somewhere
That
that
reminds you.
reminds me, it's because past Millie just walked
But
into the
is past Millie walking into the kitchen the same exact moment that
yes,
oh, okay.
yeah, like it's happening here because it's happening
Happening over
there.
there. Yeah.
Can you imagine
I
that?
could, honestly.
That's
Especially after
crazy.
watching Misfits again. I totally could.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
What's I think even crazier is that people who are creating movies, who are creating books, who even politicians
Mhm.
really can harness nostalgia and use that on us, like to their
Oh my
advantage.
god, yeah. Oh my god,
Like
yeah.
what's happening now with our old clothes coming back into style from the
Our
90s,
old clothes, our old TV shows,
old games, old
old games,
toys. Bro, they're
Crash
talking
Bandicoot,
about
like,
bringing
just
back
fucking
the
came
Beanie
out, or
Babies.
the Beanie Babies, or the fucking those fat ass long jeans, which I
And
actually
the
kinda like.
people in our position and from our generation, it will force nostalgia on us and we'll be inclined to buy it. Like spend
1,000%.
money because they're forcing that feeling of nostalgia on us, which means if we are so susceptible to nostalgia, we're all very sad and lonely.
Oh, I mean, I think we've all noticed.
Yeah, I know, which is
Especially, like,
sad.
nowadays, I feel like everybody I think we talked about this recently,
Yeah,
that everything has been feeling kinda weird, you know?
there's a lot going on
It's a
in the
heavy
cosmos
talk,
right now.
cosmo world, flipping it off, you know? We not doing good right now. Shit's wild.
A lot of stuff happening. You know, the people are. This is kind of like a sidebar, but you know me and my weird shit. Now I
Yes.
get into TikTok, and there's people right now talking about how the end of the world is going to be April 8th because
April
of
8th,
the eclipse,
'cause
because
there's
of the
a
fault. Like if you look at the line,
okay.
if you look at the path of totality,
Mhm.
it goes over like 4 or 5 cities of Nineveh, one of Rapture, and one of and it's in the constellation of Castus or something, which is
Mhm.
a whale, which is so a lot of biblical people right now are saying that the end of the world is April 8th.
And these numbers, though, 12, 20, 140, 144,
It's
ending at
crazy,
3
and it's
PM.
because it'll be 4 minutes. There'll be in that path of totality, there will be 4 minutes of darkness in the middle of the day. And so there people are referencing, different things from the Bible and from
Why do
well,
we never get to see them?
because of where we live, we're too far on the coast. We have to be somewhere in the middle
Yeah, right
is
now it
where it
says,
ranges from.
just in case anybody cares, if
Mhm.
you are anywhere in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri,
Missouri.
see, I'm full of misery, huh? All right. Illinois, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, and small parts of Tennessee and Michigan, you will be able to experience the total eclipse.
Yeah.
So on April 8th, around 12:20 p.m. Look at that.
These states that are in the path of totality have issued a state of emergency and said to buy your toilet paper and stuff because there are said to be the roads will be extremely congested because of the path of totality. Last time there was like 2,000, 3,000 people, just crowded in the streets and stuff. And because of the eclipse and so it's gonna mess up the orbit for you won't be able to use your GPS and stuff for a little bit.
4 minutes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where
Anyways,
that it was just a
yeah,
sidebar.
sorry. Sorry,
I
anyways.
just wanted to bring that up because
No,
of
I
what we were
think
talking
that
about.
that's just important. Shit.
Yeah.
I wish we could see it. Let's go to fucking Texas.
Mm,
Go look at it. But anyways, nostalgia.
what's a movie that makes you feel nostalgic?
A movie.
Yeah.
Ooh, The Secret Garden. I watched The Secret Garden and I immediately am back at home. Not even actually. Back at my grandfather's home, sitting on his big old couch, watching on this big old fat TV he had. And it was the best movie ever. And then he bought it for me on
Nice.
Christmas. I still have it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. I still watch it. It's good.
Yes, yes, it is.
It's amazing. But that movie definitely every single time I watch it, every single time I put it on it, anytime I'll hear a song from it, music from it, see an image
You're
from it,
put back.
I'm immediately put back.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
Mine is not as beautiful.
No, that's beautiful.
Mine is Drop Dead Fred.
What the fuck is that?
Drop Dead Fred! The movie about an imaginary friend, basically.
Oh,
And it's a little girl who has one, and then they show her all grown up, and all of a sudden, uh, she's going through stuff with her husband or whatever, and Drop Dead Fred comes back, and now she's having to deal with him, and he's causing problems for her out in the real world,
damn.
and like doing things that she can't explain, and she's talking to him all like no one else can see her, and they all can see her talking to her. Anyways, I love that movie, and my mom and I don't have a lot of good memories together, but we watched that so many times, and it always made me feel good. We would laugh, and watching it as an adult, that movie is not for children, so do not let your children watch this fucking movie, okay? Uh, but it does, like I've watched many movies, but none of them from my past has
Bring you that
ever
feeling.
smacked me in the face with nostalgia like Drop Dead Fred.
Well, that's awesome.
Makes me wanna get into bed with my mom under the covers and watch a movie.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah. Yeah, sure. All right. On that note, do you have something else?
Um, I don't think so. I mean, there's a few examples, but I don't care to we don't have to go over them.
Examples of what? Oh, like more movies?
Or shows, because like Stranger Things was like
Stranger
a
Things.
yeah, Stranger Things was a is a love note to the '80s. Like,
Wow.
if you I was born in the '90s, obviously, but the '80s is a very special, thing to me. I love the music, I love the movies, I love the culture of the '80s, and everything in Stranger Things made me feel young again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I would have never thought about that like that. That's cool.
yeah, I thought that was pretty kick-ass.
I like that.
Especially my older friends who also, like, experienced the '80s
Hmm.
felt more nostalgia, I think, than I did. I think that this
Watching it, yeah.
made me feel, like, youngerish
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
but
I feel you.
they experienced it differently. And I thought it was a good popular example.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. So to completely flip where we're at,
Script.
can too much nostalgia be bad?
Yes.
Before I look into a small thing of why do you think?
I feel like it can lead to ignorance because with nostalgia, you kind of romanticize the past a little
Hmm.
bit. Sometimes you forget about other things. You just remember that specific good thing. So you kind of like almost chasing something that
Yeah,
you're forgetting that or that just never existed in the first place
yeah,
because you've so highly romanticized this one moment that it's hard to see past that.
yeah.
So I think it could be like a little detrimental to remaining stagnant.
Yeah, I agree. So when I looked it up, it
Hmm.
says that as of right now, Americans are indulgent in nostalgia more than ever.
I
Okay. I
believe
mean, I
that.
think we talked about that.
Hmm.
And of course, there are a lot of positive effects, just like we talked about.
Yeah.
However, there's also a dark side to nostalgia, and too much of it can be dangerous for health and well being.
Hmm.
Possible dangers of nostalgia include stagnation, idealization,
Mm,
and a loss of authenticity.
mm.
Maybe in the concept of it, what even what you said, we kind of get stuck in the past.
Yeah.
We forget who we are now
Mhm.
because past us is no longer us.
Yeah.
No matter if you want to think so or not, it's very unlikely that you were exactly how you were
Yeah.
when you were 12, 13, 14, 15. So even younger, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
Concept of time. Stagnation, I also agree because, you
You
get stuck
Yeah, you don't move past that because you're so okay with
with the
this.
past
Yeah.
and you don't want to change because you don't even see what could be in the present or even in the future. Um, Idealization. I feel like, I don't know. What is that supposed to bring out?
I think just I think idealization is more like romanticizing something like
Mhm.
the past, something that's not I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah, I don't know either. I feel like obviously it's all it's all one. It's all one of the
Mhm.
being stuck in the past, wanting what you do not no longer have, also not wanting to change because you're so stuck in the past. Um, I don't know.
Hmm.
What is it that you have?
I have something here that also says idealization. It says when we look back on previous eras, we tend to focus on the positive aspects while conveniently ignoring or downplaying the negatives. We spoke about that. It says this can create an unrealistic and overly romanticized view of history,
Yeah,
glossing over issues.
there
And
you
I
go.
think that's kind of what
What
that
they're
meant
what they're
by
meaning.
that.
Yeah.
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 And that stagnation here, I have a thing that also is that sometimes nostalgia makes us afraid of new things
Yeah.
and keeps us stuck in old ways,
Keeps
which
us
stops
comfortable.
progress.
Hmm.
Which makes sense
Yeah.
that it too much of that could be
Bad.
bad. So,
Because we
yeah.
always want to grow. You know, I think that's something we should talk about. Fact that yes, nostalgia is great. And sometimes we want to go back to the past and we miss the past so fucking much.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just can't. Honestly, most of the time, you can't. And I think we all need to understand that that's okay. It's okay not to be able to go back to the past
Yeah.
because there's a lot of things in the future that are going to bring good. There's a lot of things in the present that are bringing good.
And you're just sometimes we get so stuck that you don't see it.
Exactly.
So,
I feel like it's really important for all of us to realize that, hey, we're fucking good. What?
yes. Hey, so I've had this quote stuck in my brain since I was like 11 or 12, no, 10 or 11 years old. I saw it on a thing in my teacher's classroom and it makes perfect sense to what you're saying right
Say
now.
it.
Uh when one door opens, another one closes, but sometimes we look so long and regretfully at the one that's closed, we don't realize the
That the
one
other
that's
one's
opened.
open. Give me chills.
Because it makes it's
It's
relevant. It
accurate.
makes sense. And I've always like used that
Hmm.
as, inspiration for friends, myself, but I don't think I've ever connected it to anything as much as I have just now when you said that.
Yeah, because it's true.
Yeah.
Nostalgia does bring a lot of happiness. And sometimes we forget that that door is
Mhm.
no longer what is bringing us happiness. Even if at one point it did,
It's not anymore. It's in your past
it's in your past. Remember it, feel it, but
and pass on, like
move
move
on
on. Like
because
you
you
can't
don't want to
stay
get
there.
stuck there.
It's like a
Yeah.
cycle. Oh God. Look at us having revelations.
Whoa, 2024, we growing BTS.
Shit. Surprise quiz segment.
Oh shit.
Uh,
Okay, I'm ready. Is this what you were? Oh my god.
Let's talk about I told her that I had something planned for her, but I didn't tell her what it was. Ding ding ding. Welcome to the episode. Welcome to the surprise quiz segment. I'm your host, Melly. Let's get fucking going. Okay. So I have a
Okay, let's go. Let's do this.
I've got 4 questions, so we'll keep it short. But
Okay.
it's just a little bit of a it's 90s themed.
Okay. It's a great wrap up. Let's
Yeah.
go.
All right. So, what was the name of the popular handheld digital pet that you had to feed, play with, and care for in the 90s?
What was it?
Everyone had one.
Was it
Everyone's killed one.
Tamagotchi? Is
Yeah.
that what?
Ding ding ding. What is it? Ding ding ding. Tamagotchi is the correct answer.
What's the next one?
Okay, moving on. What was the name of the dance craze that took the 90s by storm, featuring hopping on one foot while crossing your arms and swinging your hips?
Excuse me. Can you repeat
Yes.
that one more time?
You've got one repeat, ma'am.
Okay.
What was the name of the dance craze that took the 90s by storm, featuring hopping on one foot while crossing your arms and swinging your hips?
What the?
I have my finger on the ding 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 button, but she didn't get it, folks. It was the Macarena.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Why dancing on? Why hopping on one foot? The Macarena was on a foot?
Yeah.
Oh. Let's see.
Anyways,
Do
you
we have a
got
failure one?
no, I don't think so.
I deserve
No,
that.
I don't think so. All right. What was the name of the brightly colored, stretchy plastic bracelets that were popular accessories among 90s kids, often worn in layers and traded with friends?
What were the names? I don't know what they were names, but I know that we used them for like inappropriate stuff.
Yes.
Like the black one
The
meant
black one meant you was
sex.
sucking.
The red one meant like kissing. Pink one meant like
She
dates.
remembers the fucking color code, you degenerate.
I used to buy the black ones on purpose. The thing was that you were supposed to pop it. Like I remember they
Yeah.
would have to break
Mhm.
it. It never happened, but
And, you had to, like you would, like, you would cross them,
two of them
2 of them and
and
put
put
them
them,
so that way it
yeah,
was, like, 2 yeah, they were called silly bands or something like
silly bands.
that.
Got you.
It was ridiculous because we used them for not very good
Very
things,
inappropriate
but
things.
you got
Ding,
it.
ding, ding.
Okay, and the last one. In the 90s, what was the name of the popular children's book series that followed the adventures of a group of teens investigating supernatural mysteries in their hometown of Steins Bay? You know this. I know you know this.
Can you read it one more time?
I'm not telling this bitch she had one repeat.
Eh,
Okay.
well, repeat for it. You can
In
try
the
some food.
in the 90s, what was the name of the popular children's book series that followed the adventures of a group of teens investigating supernatural mysteries in their hometown of Steins Bay?
I don't know why you keep saying those words as if they're supposed to mean something. I don't remember.
Because R.L. Stein Goosebumps. I
I
know
need to
she
buy
knew
them
this.
when I was, like teenagers. Yeah, you're right. I mean,
I
I
know.
have like almost all of them at the house,
I
but
know. That's why I'm like, what
oh
the
my
fuck?
God. I almost thought about Riverdale, but I'm like, those are comics. That's not even like,
She got mad at me the last time about something about Riverdale, and I told her I don't know why she getting mad at me because I ain't never seen it before.
it's not mad at you because I never watched it with me before. Right.
Oh my god. Well, that concludes our segment of tiny prize quiz.
Thank you very much. Thank
You
you very
got it. You
much.
got 3 out. Well, I know you knew the 4th one, so I'll give it to you. I'll be nice.
Okay, well,
So
thank
3
you.
out of 4 ain't half bad.
Come on.
And
Pass.
this has called me into a question the foot now because now I'm wondering about the gender.
I don't know. Either way, I wouldn't have. If you had said everything else except the hopping on one foot, I probably still wouldn't have
Maybe.
gotten it.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
okay.
But anyways, that was fun.
Yeah, it was.
I like the little quiz. I'm gonna do one next time.
What have I done?
I like that. Surprise quiz. What are we in fucking Mrs. What was her name?
This is Sprinkles
Mrs.
class.
Sprinkles, bro. Yeah.
Y'all, for a little bit of Susie and Melly lore, we met in high school in Miss Sprinkles
Which was
class.
a math class, by the way, and I hated math, and
Neither of
she
us
hated
were
math.
in the right math course because we weren't bad at math, so it was
I was
not.
bad at math. I hated math.
So we were what? We were we were 11th graders in a 10th grade class.
Yeah, that's true. And this little laptop right here, is it the same one?
No.
Oh well, this little pretend flashback laptop, she would bring to her class.
It was
To
that one, but brown.
was like this,
That
but brown.
computer.
There we go. So it was like this one, and she would bring it to class, and we would sit in the back, and we would just like do shit, and then the teacher would be like, "What are you guys doing on the laptop?" And she would like open up like a math thing real quick, and we're like, "We're just doing math."
She hated it.
she
Oh my gosh, she hated it. She hated us
she did.
so much.
She hated us a lot. I
When
mean,
she wasn't there, I was miserable. When I wasn't there, she was
I
miserable.
hated when she didn't show up, and then the next time she would be like, "I'm gonna leave because I have whatever on whatever days."
It wasn't I couldn't leave. I got to school late because I had physical therapy in the morning and the doctor would give me a doctor's note for the day versus a specific time. So I just skipped the entire
I've
first
done the same
two
thing.
periods of the day and come to class. If I got attendance in the third class, they didn't call my parents,
Yeah.
so they never knew. I mean, if she listens to this, she know now. Sorry about it.
Sure, Betty.
But yeah.
But yeah, I
But
missed a
yeah,
lot.
nostalgia.
Nostalgia. I do definitely do feel like I remember being there.
Yeah, I
We met some cool
oh,
people. We used to,
do we
I don't know.
I don't know either. Maybe we shouldn't. We could put it on a TikTok.
We could put it on
So
TikTok.
if you want to hear what we just had a pause about just now, keep an eye out for the TikTok.
Yeah.
We'll explain it better there because I
Oh
don't think
Lord,
we can do that.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
We missed the episode for it. Talk about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
No, we could well we
We
can
could
make
add
that
on it.
part of it.
Anyways, we're
Yeah.
continuing, you guys. But all right, so we are done for today. Nostalgia was great.
Yes.
It was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like always, we truly love doing this, and we love you guys.
Yes. Thank you for taking a trip down memory lane with us. We appreciate it. We appreciate you listening. Remember to please like, comment, and share. You can find us on Instagram at underscore exploring thoughts underscore and Facebook.
Facebook at facebook.com/exploring thoughts. TikTok is also underscore exploring thoughts underscore. And yeah, next week's episode is all about
Intrusive thought.
oh shit.
Yeah.
Am I gonna fall off this
That
bridge?
was my
Are you gonna shoot me? I don't know. We'll find out next week.
watch us as we honor our intrusive thought. See? Intrusive finger guns. Okay. All right, guys.
We love you guys,
Thank you so much.
and we'll see you next week.
And remember, unleash your curiosity and always explore your thoughts.
Bye.